Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to have more cool comic books slash film discussions. This one will be about none other than Rita Repulsa of the Power Rangers. And I'm going to compare Rita's power levels as she was characterized on TV as well as on the big screen. I've seen both comparisons, and I find that there are big differences, huge differences in comparisons to her power levels. Okay, let's go to Rita Repulsa's TV characterization. On the Power Rangers, they have Rita with insane, crazy power levels where her magic can be used and applied effortlessly, but nevertheless, she doesn't use it against the Power Rangers in ways that she could. But nevertheless, her powers are incredible and amazing. And she can even create big monsters. So she has a big monster creating power as characterized on TV, where she can make giant monsters to fight the Power Rangers or whatever. And she can also cast spells. She has a magical staff where she can cast energy from it or shoot different energy bolts for a variety of effects. This is the TV characterization of Rita Repulsa, which I find remarkable and incredible. Now I'm going to go to the latest characterization of Rita Repulsa on the big screen in a big budget film. In this film, she had all the powers that the Rita has on the TV series characterization, but they give her big differences in power levels and in evil. The big screen Rita Repulsa in the big budget film as seen in the live action shows that she's far more ruthless, deadlier, dangerous, villainous, violent, all of that. So in other words, she's a killer. But on the TV characterization of Rita Repulsa in the live action, she stops short of killing people because they tend to water things down more on TV in ways than they do with big screen things that you go out to the movies to see. Yeah, so TV tends to make things less violent or than motion pictures do. So I noticed that Rita was incredibly violent in the big budget live action Power Rangers film, but on the TV characterizations of Rita, she's villainous, she's evil and wicked, but she's not that violent in terms of the ways that she deals with people, persons, and things. So on the big screen, as far as the big budget Rita Repulsa goes, her power levels are still insane. She has a magical staff that she could channel energy through for destructive purposes. She could still create giant monsters. But why doesn't Rita ever create five monsters at once or 10 monsters at once? So, is there limits on her sorcery conjuration where she can only make one giant monster at once? But I've seen her conjure many creatures too, those type of wicked creatures that work for her and do her bidding, and they stand around her and laugh at her wickedness, and her devious nature. Yeah, those are the cool type of people you hang out with and have cold drinks with. In other words, yeah. But so okay, now the bottom line with Rita's characters in terms of how she's viewed in terms of on TV and in the big screen. I think that she was more likable through the TV characterization of herself than she was on the big screen. Because on the big screen, she was evil, villainous, wicked, terrible, and it seemed like no one wanted to hang around her. But on the TV version, she had plenty of festives and wickedness, and people were laughing. And I mean, the people that worked for her, and she was laughing on occasions. So they sort of lightened Rita up on TV, but on the big screen, they sent her over the top in terms of evil, terrible wickedness, and they made her into a maniac, you know. Yeah, so in other words, I like both Rita repulsors through both characterizations, but I like the big budget film better because, and then I liked her character change at the same time on the in the live action in the big budget at the movies. On the TV, they water that down and make it kitty shows. But that's good for the children if they like that type of characterization of Rita Repulsa. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think about this.